The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin.
And I got Lou from Fairfield, Connecticut, man. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing good, Darrell. And I got to tell you, you're not just blowing hot air out there. I think the way you look at the market is terrific. You're a nice guy as far as over the TV. All the research you do, all the homework you do, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your view of the market. It's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Darrell Martin.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN.com. And good to be back. Been out for a little over a week on a nice vacation working with horses. So we got some horses, and I've been training them for my wife and my daughter, and teaching them how to train them, and how to sensitize one of them. And because my wife's horse he's pretty chill. He's a very relaxed horse, but that makes him a little harder to ride because you got to make him go. So making it where she pushes him around, he doesn't push her around. And then we got another horse for my daughter. This one's ready to barrel race and everything else, ready to fly. And so we got to, go in and desensitize this one a little bit because it just wants to go, 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 go. And so a lot of good times with the family and spent a lot of time with them. Went out to San Antonio and caught up with some friends there and just spent we spent time at SeaWorld and all that fun stuff. And it was good times. But glad to be back. And let's check out where the markets are at right now. We got the S&P is currently down 1.5. We have the Russell down 5.5 right there. Nasdaq currently down 5.75 with the Dow up 4 points on the day. And so pretty quiet right there on the indices as far as referring to settlement. We got copper is currently down a little over 0.5%. We got gold is up a couple points. We got silver is currently down a little over 0.5% as well. Natural gas up 0.75%. We got oil is down 1%, so a nice move in oil there, down $1 right now on the day. We got corn down just a few ticks. We got soybeans moving on down over 1.5%. Soybeans currently down 16.5 points. Pound dollar is currently up 23 pips. Euro dollar is down 23. Euro pound is down 24. Checking out the dollar cat. Dollar cat is currently up 19 pips. Dollar yen is up 4. Pound yen up 31. Euro yen down 16. And the Aussie yen is up 11 pips on the day. And so let's go ahead and check a few other things. I think we only have 2 oil wells, actually. I got a question over in the den. But let's see what we got. Let's go in and we'll look up and see what's going on in the markets. We need to get into our news because I got you caught up and current before I took off. But I said, hey, we're going to have some news coming up this week. We want to dive in and see what we can do to trade the news. And when I say trade the news, I mean that in a couple different ways. One is just how to trade the news. If you want to trade, like on Nadex. But 2 is, even if you're not a news trader, you want to learn what the news is, how the news works, when to expect the market to move, because that will impact your current trades. Maybe you need to tighten your stops. Maybe you need to not take an additional entry. Maybe you need to take profit. There's a lot of different things you might need to do, but maybe you just need to hedge off a position. Or maybe you should know how far the market's expected to move. So if you're in a position it does move that far, you know that's usually the move that it makes. And, it's done. So if you want to learn how to trade the news, the first step is going to be for you to hop on over here and go to Nadex, okay? So click on TFNN.com. Click on the Nadex banner on the right side of the page. Once you've done that, go to Trading, Demo Trading Account. And fill in your username, first name, last name, phone, email address. Click Apply for Demo. Check your email, and you'll be able to log in and get going. And that'll basically, I use Nadex to trade the news. Nadex is the North American Derivative Exchange. It's based out of Chicago. It's regulated by the CFTC, just like the CME is. And you can be a direct member of the exchange simply by opening an account, so long as you're a U.S. resident. And If you want to day trade, you don't have to have $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 in your account. You can start out with $100. Obviously, I'd recommend you start with more than $100. Probably want to, pick that up a little bit higher and go potentially to, a few $1,000s at least to start out, because that just makes it a lot easier on your risk management. Every trade's not so psychologically important to you if you can have a decent risk management model. But you can start out with as little as $100. If you get that demo account opened and you go fund a live account under open an account for free, and you fund it with a minimum balance of at least $100, and from there you do at least a trade. So whether you put in 100 or 100 grand, or whether you do one contract for a $3 risk, or 100 contracts for a $3,000 risk, whatever it is you decide to do, you can then contact customer service and they'll extend out your demo for 1 year. So that way you have that active. That's good because a couple of reasons. One, that otherwise the demo will expire in a couple weeks. You have to either go in and request another one, request an extension, whatever. It's a lot easier just to get it extended out. Two, you want to have a long-term demo that you can be trading with, even when you're trading live, because you want to test out ideas, like the news trades that I go over. Okay? You want to learn to make the mistakes in demo, like where are the buttons? How do I hit them? Where do they go? And one of the other things, I hear a lot of traders go, I was on a webinar last night, and a trader's like, yeah, but if you're in demo, that's just like play money versus real money in poker. And I'm like, in one aspect, I get the point. But in the other aspect, that's if you're treating it that way, okay? Because it obviously is purely mental. Whether there's dollars behind the chips or not, it's mental. And mental, emotional impact. And what you have to do is you have to decide how real you're going to make it. So are you going to go in and are you going to treat it like it's live? Call them up and have them reduce your demo account down to what you're going to fund your live account with. And the goal is to get muscle memory down. It's just like practice for any kind of professional sports game. Get that muscle memory down. When do I get in? When do I get out? Where do I take profit? What buttons do I hit? Exactly where do I go? How do I execute my trading system? And because practicing in live games is a lot more difficult than practicing in demo, and a lot more expensive as well. And it may be a lot more exhilarating, but unless you have the funds to get it there, so you're going to want to start out with the demo account, get it going. And then, obviously, as quickly as you can be consistently successful in demo, then move on up to live as quickly as possible. All right, so that's how to get your Nadex account, how to get it funded, how to get it going. Next step, let's go over and let's figure out from there, what potential trades you could be doing in order to trade right here on Nadex. And what I want to do is pull up a few of the trades that we have going this week. And the ones I have on my list, we had some early ones this morning. We had housing starts and stuff, not major reports there from yesterday. Today we had zooeconomic sentiment. But dive into the rest of the week. It's a pretty light week overall, but I do want to get into the trades for you, at least get you caught up for today, maybe the rest of the week. We'll see how far we can get in this show, but just to, like I said, get you going so you have your news trading plan and gearing ready for Wednesday. And so for Wednesday, what we're going to do is we don't have anything major tonight to worry about. The only thing I would put down on your list would be just being aware of the preliminary GDP, coming out on the yen. So it's not really one of those trades that I dive into and place a trade based on it. It's just one that I'm aware of. But let me see if I got any stats. I'm going to check. I have two stat engines that we've made where we pull a bunch of this information up from. And let's see. Okay, the first one don't even list the yen. Preliminary GDP. It's not a consistent enough report. The second one takes a little longer to load. I may come back to that one while it's coming up, because it's trying to pull up on everything that exists. It can take a little bit longer. Okay, well, while I'm waiting on that one, I'm going to go ahead and dive into Wednesday for you, and let's see what trades we can put together, okay? The first main trade we're going to be looking at is going to be the jobless claims on the pound dollar. It's going to be coming out at 4:30 in the morning. So the unemployment rate, climate account change, all that fun stuff. But, basically they're the unemployment for the pound. And let's see, what do we got? Climate count change, jobless claims change, unemployment claims, all that. I don't even see one of the reports on here. They should have it on here. But I guess they can update their page. But anyway, so 4:30 is when the report's going to come out. And let's see, when was the last report? We had that on July 16th. And so let me pull up that report for you. And let's see here. Okay, so that's going to be one that we haven't really added in as often. And trying to see if there's any other dates where, there we go. Okay, so looking at the pound unemployment rate, coming out at 4:30. What we're doing is we're entering as early as 11 o'clock. It's actually potentially a straddle trade. So I want to dive into it and make sure. It looks like we may have a straddle, which is pretty rare. A lot of times these moves don't move enough to justify doing a straddle. Straddle is where you buy the upper spread and you sell the lower spread. And so I just want to go down and look at the entire report and see how late can we get into this thing and actually still get the move on a consistent basis over on the pound. And yeah, a lot of these moves are actually pretty decent. 50, 60, 90, 70. The last move was pretty small. But overall, we're usually getting at least 40 to 60, sometimes 90, 100 pips on this trade right here. So we're going to look at enter as early as 11 o'clock, no later than 3. The major movement usually happens right at the news announcement, okay? So early as 11 p.m., no later than 3 a.m., with an expiration of 7 a.m., and a max risk of $40 on a trade. So that's a straddle where you buy the spread above, and you sell the Nadex spread below the market. And I can show you some examples of how to put these together. The easiest way is to use the Diagnostic spread scanner, where I actually feed all the strikes in live from Nadex. You can check that out for free. And let's see here. I'll pull that up for you. We'll look at it and just walk through it for you. But it's really simple to find straddles. They're super, super easy. And so bringing that up over here, go over to the box spread scanner. As soon as you log in, you can get access to this right over there on TFNN. And then go down and choose whatever market you want to look at. So let's say you're looking at the pound. And I would not have any filters on. Just look at it. If you want to have it filter in, then to make it even simpler, just do a 1-to-1 on the risk reward for a straddle. Okay? That'll drop off everything. Then you're just looking for 2 trades that basically line up. So right here, 68.10 and 69.60. So I'd go down here and find the 68.10, 69.60 for the buy side. And then I'd find the one below it with the same ceiling there. So 68.10, 69.60. So where do we go over here on the sell side? Right there. And now we have a straddle. So if it goes up or if it goes down, this is a price. And that's our profit and loss. Okay, so profit and loss on the left side, price up, price down. We can profit on the trade. So we make sure that has $40. This one right here would have $15 combined risk. All right, stay right there. We'll be back right after this.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. All right, so we got the unemployment rate there taken care of. So you got that plan for tomorrow. You could put that on tonight before you go to bed and set your take profits on it and let it do its thing. So usually a pretty decent report there on the jobless claims and the unemployment rate there for the pound. We go on in and we'll dive into retail sales here in the U.S. next. We'll check out the euro dollar for this trade. And that report is to be released at 8:30 in the morning. And so we'll look at that one right there. And basically change in value of the retail, et cetera. You know, the level excluding automobiles. So basically the total value of sales. Everything X automobiles. And that's core retail sales. Retail sales actually has them included. Anyway, so looking at this report and checking out the last release on it, going in and looking at that. Let me pull it up and we'll go through the trade step by step for you. Make sure you got it down. Looks like what we're going to be looking at is a iron condor on the trade. We're going to enter at 8 a.m. So here's your trading plan for the core retail and retail sales. We're entering at 8 a.m. for a 10 a.m. expiration. Okay? And we're looking for a minimum profit of $30 on the trade. That's what we're shooting for on the trade, is to get $30. Every once in a while, it moves a little bit past it. And, you know, so we would definitely want at least that $30 on the trade, and we're going to want to get out if it doesn't work out. But overall, looks like it's worked out pretty well for us on the report there. I'm just trying to go in. Core retail. We got jobless claims at the same. Okay, that was when the big moves were when jobless claims happened. That's why I was trying to figure out what's going on. So when jobless claims come out at the same time, which means when the report comes out on Thursday or when CPI comes out, a lot of times this report moves a lot. But when you only have the retail sales by itself, usually it's not a very big mover. So hopefully that'll work out just as well for us tomorrow. But we're looking at about a 30 pip minimum, and I'm very, very hardcore on that minimum profit. If you can't get 30, it's just not worth doing. Okay? And so let's move on to our next report that we're looking at. Let's see. New Zealand dollar retail sales, not really going to worry about that one. Can't trade it on Nadex yet. And we got the RICS house price balance report coming out on the pound dollar. That's going to usually a weaker report, but let's check out and see if there's a trade we can pull off with the stats. It comes out at 7 o'clock. Actually, at 7:01. And I wonder if there's something we can pull off from maybe like an 11 o'clock expiration. So, being usually a pretty quiet time in the markets overall. Let's see what we got. We got like 12 ticks, 6 ticks, 3 ticks. 25 was a big move. 9, 10, 11. So the biggest move we had, it wasn't even really based on that report. Went up to like 35 and came on back down. And let's see, we got 20 ticks is a big move there, 6 ticks. If you can pull off 20 ticks on this trade, I'd say enter at 6 for an 11 o'clock. You could also enter at 6 for an 8 if the premium was there. You could try entering at 7 for an 8 or 7 for 9 because the report comes out right at 7:01, but you better have your orders in. Here's the entire list because you got a whole slew of possibilities. The easiest one, and I would only go for 20 pips on this because most of the time it doesn't even move 20. So we want a 20 pip minimum take profit iron condor. Choices are, so that way you can hopefully find one, would be 6 to 11 p.m. Enter at 6 for 11 p.m. Enter at 7 for 11 p.m. Enter at 6 for 8. Enter at 7 for 8. Enter at 7 for 9. So we got 6 to 11, 6 to 8, 7 for 8, 7 for 9, and 7 for 11 p.m. So you got 5 different possibilities of entry time combinations of entry times and expiration times. And but you have to have those orders off by 7 o'clock, okay? And because the report comes out right at 7:01, but it's a pretty flat time. This is very helpful to know as a nighttime trader. You're trading pound dollar tonight. Don't expect it to do a lot, okay, for pretty much most of the evening. So it should be it looks like it oscillates, and that's about all it does on this evening when these reports come out. So that's helpful to know as a trader. Whether or not you're trading Nadex, if you're just trading the pound dollar tonight, that is a very helpful thing to know. We don't usually get big trends. It usually just goes a whole lot of nowhere. So that gives you iron condors. It gives you butterfly possibilities every hour. So there's a lot of different trades you could be looking at tonight. And usually you get maybe like one little move out of it, but overall, I mean, it's not a big moving evening on the pound dollar. And we have some things to help us out with trading the pound dollar now, some upgrades on the Nadex platform. I'm going to talk about those as well when we get back right after this.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Looks like HotCom's having a little issue, but hopefully we can get it up and running soon. Let me see here. If I can grab that code from him, I might be able to get this working. 1 minute for me, and I'll try it again for you, okay? We'll get that on, up, and running so you can see my screen. Okay, well, I'll have to handle it during the next commercial break. Let's go ahead and look at what I was talking about. What I want to talk to you about was Nadex has, I submitted a report. This was pretty cool. I was finding issues as a trader as I was trading on the Nadex platform, but not the Nadex platform itself, actually, but just the options. And I'd find that either the strikes were too far apart, and so there wouldn't be enough premium, to do like an out of the money or an in the money trade. There'd only be like an at the money. And the other ones would be too far away, and they'd be either too cheap or too expensive to be able to place a trade. Or I'd find a different problem where it would go outside the range and never look back again. Like I found that like 55% of the time the Russell was going outside of any potential tradable strikes. And therefore I could not place the trades because there just wasn't anything that I could trade. And so I got with one of my project managers, one of my programmers. We put together a stat engine that went through and analyzed in order to be able to figure out what would be the best places to have strikes and how many strikes would you need in order to build a premium on the in the money, the out of the money, the at the money, where the idea was the average strikes crossed in an hour was 3 strikes, because that way you have an at the money, an in the money, and an out of the money. So I wanted the goal of, how narrow do they need to be in order to be able to get 3 strikes crossed on a consistent basis, and how many do there need to be in order to allow for the majority of the time, without it being ridiculous and having extra strikes on there for no reason, how many strikes do there need to be to ensure that the market stays within the upper and the lower strikes. Well, after all this was said and done, I put together the entire report, put together all the analysis. I sent it over to Nadex. They escalated it up the chain, and they implemented it. And they actually implemented it today, or yesterday, I guess, technically, because they opened yesterday. They put them in on like the dollar franc, the euro dollar, dollar yen, and they've also went in, they basically on 4 different FX pairs. They've also added in on US 500, the Russell, NASDAQ, and the Dow. They'll be adding it in hopefully by the end of the month or next month. They'll be adding in the other 6 FX pairs. They'll be adding in the international indices and the commodities, where we'll have better widths on strikes. We'll have more strikes available. But now you have, like, say, 15 strikes over on the euro dollar on intraday strikes versus just having 9. And instead of them being 10 wide, they're 4 wide. So there's a lot better, a lot easier. The Aussie dollar was the other one that's been added on. So the Aussie's like 5 wide, the euro dollar is 4 wide, the US yen, I want to say, is 4 wide now, and as well as the dollar franc. So, and then over there on the S&P 500 and all that, it's updated as well. And let's see here. All right, so got that, and I'm just trying to see if I can get my screen up for you so I can show you a couple things. But I said, this .com's got to get their stuff going. Let's see here if this will work, so I can show you, because I wanted to show you the actual binaries and how they changed. But it's a lot easier to show you over there on Tiger TV, or if you're inside the eSignal platform, I can show you there as well. Just got to get it working. And let's see if that'll let me paste that in. Okay. So if that'll work, then great. I'm sorry, folks. It's just sometimes there's technology issues. And yeah, not happening. Okay. Throwing me off on my game here. Let's go ahead and look at what else we have on news. I'll go ahead and just cover. Let's go over the news with you and tell you what the plan is, and maybe during the next commercial break we can get it up and running. But okay, so we got PPI on the franc, we got CPI on the euro, and we have the U.S. jobless claims report as well. So let's go ahead and pull each one of those up. I'm just going to have to walk through them with you, good old radio style, right? And talk to you about them. So right now what we got with the PPI, actually, yeah, PPI on the franc, 3:15 Thursday morning. This is the trade we're looking at, okay? And so on Thursday morning at 3:15, we got the dollar franc coming out. Last time we had the release was July 15th. And if I pull up the trade there, let's see if we have anything on that one. Nope. Let me go and check out June. And on June, looking at that. Okay, PPI release. Let's see here. We're looking to find an iron condor on this trade. Okay, so it's going to be a neutral trade. We're going to buy the lower spread. We're going to sell the upper spread. And let's see, what else do we have? We'll be entering as early as 11 o'clock, no later than 3 a.m. for an expiration of 7 a.m. with a minimum profit of $35 on the trade. Okay? So enter sometime between 11 and 3. Obviously, the earlier the better, you get more premium usually. The $35 minimum take profit, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread on the Frank PPI. Okay, so that's for Thursday morning. All right. Now, if we also go in, we have another trade on Thursday morning. We have the CPI coming out of the euro. And that will be released with the CPI, the final CPI, final core CPI, both coming out at 5 a.m. on Thursday morning. And so going through, looking at that, and checking out, like I said, just past plays there. And let me see if we have this one in our list, because I'm always trying to add more and more trades as we go through it. And, yep, Euro Core CPI. We're looking at enter at 11 for a 7 a.m. expiration, $35 or more profit potential. Okay, so we want a minimum of $35. Enter 11 for a 7 a.m. expiration for the Euro CPI coming out at 5 a.m. on Thursday. Okay, so that knocks that one out. Let's see, we got jobless claims. Jobless claims, I'm usually looking for like spike strikers, things like that, but we can look and see. On the euro, it's usually a really small move. And a large majority of the time, it's a very small move. Every once in a while, we'll get a big move. You could honestly probably go in for about a 25 pip if you can pull it off. 8 to 10 a.m., euro dollar, iron condor. If you can get $25 of minimum profit, or do a spike striker right off of the news. But that probably either way would probably be sufficient, because usually it pops up, it hits it, it turns right around. So it's just one of those trades that doesn't just usually keep trending and trending and trending. So there's a move, and then it gets over with pretty quick. And that move usually causes a spike strike. So basically where we have that, double volume happening. And you gotta make sure you have the right direction when you do the trade. Let's see here. So we got the final CPI, we got that covered. We got unemployment claims covered. Let's see what we got on Friday. Friday, we're going to have the PPI, the tick data, and the industrial production. The PPI issue, let's see, it's going to be coming out at 8:30. And that's going to be, let's see here, 8:30 PPI report. We'll also have the manufacturing sales coming out of Canada, core PPI, Empire State Manufacturing. Putting all those into one group, basically, because really the main thing I'm going to be focusing on is the PPI for the dollar. And looking at our historical plans here, seeing what we got. It looks like PPI report's pretty flat report. So let's go on the euro dollar. Let's enter at 8 a.m. for a 10 a.m. expiration. And looks for a $20 profit on the trade. Okay? So we'll be looking for a $20 or more minimum profit. Iron condor, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread for a 10 a.m. expiration. And that'll cover the PPI report. Let's see, the next report we got on the list is the tick data there. And so let's see the long-term purchases on the treasuries. That'll come out at 9 a.m. And really, I would just go ahead and lump PPI into tick data. There's no need to do an additional trade based on that. So we got the tick data, and then we got industrial production at 9:15. Again, we're already in a trade 8 to 10 a.m. See no reason to add another trade on top of that. So all three of those, PPI, tick data, and industrial production on Friday. We're going to put all those into that flat category, and because they're just none of them are consistently, in and of themselves, big movers. Okay, so I'm scrolling down, just looking through all of them, and we should be good on them. Other things can obviously have massive impacts on them, but just looking at these and what order, what releases are coming out, that we should be good on that for all three of those reports with just one trade. So that makes it nice and simple. And that really does cover the week. So it's a pretty quiet week. We don't have any releases on Saturday. On Sunday, we are going to have new motor vehicle sales coming out of Australia. But we don't trade that one. It doesn't have a consistent enough impact either way to be able to trade. And then if we go into Monday, so get your entire weekly reports coming on out here. Really not anything coming out Monday either. A lot of be aware events for Monday, but nothing major that's going to be released. Let's see here. Okay. So what about be aware events for this week? So we went through all the news trades for the week. What do you need to be aware of? Like I said, tonight we got preliminary GDP coming out of the U.S. yen. So let's go ahead and put that on the calendar again, just as something to be aware of. Preliminary GDP coming out of the U.S. yen. And what else do we have? We might have one other report on Friday, too. Let me see here if I have this one up on the list. Yeah, I'm going to look at one other report. We'll come back to it. All right, so preliminary GDP. Make sure you put that on your Be Aware event for 7:30. That obviously should have an impact on the yen. And then the Westpac Consumer Sentiment Wage Price Index coming out at 8:30 and 9:30 respectively. So two other Be Aware events for the Aussie dollar. Make sure both of those are on your list. Just because, again, they could have a very minor. Wouldn't expect anything major coming out of them. But, 5 or 10 ticks, get a little move out of them. And if we roll on over into the morning, what do we have to really be focused on? China's going to have several reports coming out at 1:30. That can impact the yen and the Aussie pairs pretty easily. So be aware of that. China has several reports coming out at 1:30. Going on further, what stuff that they have other random reports coming out. We won't worry about all those. And then going on, Bank of England Governor Carney is going to be speaking at 5:30 Wednesday morning. Also, there'll be a Bank of England inflation report coming out. So you're going to want to be aware of that. Have that on your list. Hopefully that will add some volatility to the unemployment and climate count change and average earnings index, all that stuff that's coming out at 4:30 for our straddle trade. So with the Bank of England governor speaking and the inflation report coming out, hoping all that combined will give us a nice, big, solid move tomorrow morning. We already talked about core retail sales. Dudley, FOMC member Dudley is going to be speaking. He's just speaking at a federal bank conference. So not a massive press conference, but he will be going on the risk of wholesale funding. So wouldn't expect anything major out of that, but you might just want to be aware of it. 9:05 a.m. Again, I don't expect anything to really come from that. Obviously, we have our crude oil inventory report. You need to be very aware of that report. I daily trading it. I like Spike Striker. That's my favorite way to trade it. You could always trade range bound as well, but make sure you're looking out for Spike Strikers right out the crude oil inventory report. Let's see here. We got some stuff coming out in the evening. The yen, 750 on Thursday or Wednesday. So tomorrow night, core machinery orders coming out of the yen at 7:50 p.m. and M1 inflation expectations coming out at 9 o'clock on the Aussie. Those are all be aware events. So you want to have those on your calendar. Just know that, hey, they are coming out. They can impact the market, and their impact is not expected to be major, but you still want to just know it's there. So you're not like, oh, what just happened? Where'd that come from? And we'll wrap up the last couple Be Aware events when you get back. And that'll be our week on that, so we can focus on the markets and some trades for the rest of the week.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com. Eastern legend tells of a fair maiden who was offered a rare gift by the king of the land, a bag of pearls. The king promised that she could keep the largest, most perfect pearl she could find with these 3 conditions. 1, choose only 1 pearl. 2, remove 1 pearl at a time, accept or reject it. And 3, if rejected, it would be lost forever. She began by looking at the pearls, passing on many special treasures. She delved deeper into the bag, and soon the pearls were replaced with pebbles. Sadly, she went home empty-handed. Folks, replace pearls with time, because we cannot go back even 2 seconds. We live in the eternal moment of now. So when now are you going to take advantage of my offer to you, a subscription to my daily investment newsletter service, Mastering Probability, where you can experience the most incredible pearls for trading and investing, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator and Strategy. The offer? It gets better. A 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't go home empty-handed. Mastering Probability. Available on the homepage of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, so come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And so, again, I was wanting to go over, the different strikes, the different widths with you. And I'm going to try one more code they sent over to me. We'll see if that one works. And, okay, so let's see if that will let me in. And if it'll let me share my screen, then I'll push it on through and I can show you these strikes. And not just talk to you about it if we need to, then I'll show you tomorrow. All right, so I got a hack workaround that apparently may have worked for the meantime. Okay, let's get you the other reports first real quick, though. Other Be Aware events, and we'll go into some of the strikes, and we can always spend more time on that tomorrow. Don't forget, Thursday of natural gas storage, so look at spike strikers on that. And you can also do range-bound or breakout strategies, depending upon the pricing. And Friday, we got a French bank holiday. We got a Italian bank holiday coming on out. So make sure that you put those on your calendar. Will have a little bit of an impact on the euro. Anytime you have any kind of major economies in a country having holidays. And we will have second estimate GDP coming out. Not the primary, but the second estimate. That definitely needs to be high on the list of your Be Aware event. It's, listed, some people list it as a quarterly GDP. But you need to be aware, again, it's a second estimate. It usually does move quite a bit. about 70% of the time, we move about 50 pips, high to low. And we have a average move of 70. So there are some large moves over the last couple of years, and that's been very, very consistent on the pound dollar. So I'll dig a little further into that report and see what we can get out of that one. Might have a trade there. At the very least, go ahead and mark it on your counter now as be aware. And might be a potential straddle event. I just want to dive a little deeper into it because being a second estimate, I think it might be grouping a couple of those things together. But it is, again, the revised GDP. So basically it's the sum value of adding everything together. But it is the strongest number being the GDP in the economy. Going on over, looking at everything else we have, we grouped TIC, industrial production, manufacturing all together at once. Consentiment also could go into that 8 to 10 a.m. trade. So really nothing else left to have to worry about being aware of. Now, if we hop on over and we check out what has happened at Nadex, let's see what's going on here. Let's uncheck some of these markets. Let's look at a few of the others. And let me get rid of everything. And what you're going to notice is now you don't have 9. You have 15, the eyes right there, the intradays, 15 intraday strikes. Okay? And so giving you a lot more strikes. Also, they're narrower. Check this out. They're only 5 ticks wide right here on the Aussie dollar. They used to be 10. So you got narrower strikes, meaning more likelihood. Now we only have 2 minutes left to expiration. We go down here. We can see that we have obviously a lot more. I mean, there's your intradays right there. So look at the dailies. I mean, the dailies we got right up here 450, and you're down at like 97. But intradays, look at how we have like 82 by 89, 38 by 45, 3 by 10. So there's more contracts going on. If we scroll on down a little further, there's so many contracts on here. Let's get rid of, I think we're just looking at intradays since that's what we're sort of focusing on. Check it out. So that is the Aussie dollar, the Euro dollar. They've added on now. So now you can see like right here, like the 3 o'clock, the intradays, look at, there's a lot of choices there. So for premium, and I mean, premium's pretty low still, but I mean, there are at least some options. That's an hour left expiration. You got 20, a 50, and 80. That's awesome. If we go down to the U.S. yen, looking at the hour to expiration, you actually have a couple choices, not just one, so they're really narrow with only 4 ticks wide. And look at the dollar franc, very narrow, only 4 ticks wide. And look at that, we got 18, 45, 76, so it's excellent. Finally got some strikes we can trade without having to have that massive width. So great improvement on Nadex. I'm so glad they're listening to their traders and getting those improvements done. You have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
You're watching Tiger TV.